Hello, do you think you know everything there is to know about critical illness insurance? Well, by the end of this video, I'll give you the necessary information that you will need in order to make an informed decision on whether or not you would like to incorporate critical illness insurance into your overall personal financial plan. My name is John Moakler, and I'm the founder of Moakler Wealth Management. And for the best advice on how to protect you and your family, please subscribe to my YouTube channel down below and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when we launch a new video. Now, critical illness insurance was actually developed by a medical doctor more than 30 years ago in South Africa. And what he was noticing is that when people were diagnosed with a cancer, heart attack, or stroke, 80% of the time people passed away and only 20% of the time people survived. If you fast forward that to today, the numbers have actually flipped. If you're diagnosed with a critical illness, 80% of the time you're going to live and 20% of the time you're going to pass away. And so even though you survive cancer, if you haven't put the necessary bumper guards in place, you could be facing financial ruin. And so that's why Dr. Marius Bernard developed critical illness more than 30 years ago. Now, here in Canada, only 5% of Canadians actually have a critical illness policy. However, 85% of Canadians have admitted that they would be worried about getting a critical illness, and 58% of Canadians have admitted that they would be in financial trouble if they were diagnosed with a critical illness. Most people believe that if I get a critical illness, my disability policy will kick in. That's totally wrong. If you get a heart attack, stroke, cancer, these are all critical illnesses. They're not disabilities. And so each policy comes with at least 25 conditions in the coverage. And if you design it properly, you can also include what's called loss of independent existence. And what this means is if you can't do 2 out of the 6 daily activities of living, the policy will also kick in. So in order to qualify, you have to be contracted with a critical illness and you have to survive at least 30 days. Leave a comment in the section below and let me know if you already have a critical illness policy in place or whether or not you're shopping for coverage for you and your family. And also take a look at the other videos that I have there. There's one there on whole life and how to tap into the cash value to see if you can incorporate this into your overall plan as well. Now, when we develop critical illness policies for our clients, we design them as I call guaranteed plans. And what I mean by that is either you're going to get a critical illness and it's going to pay out, or if you don't get a critical illness, you can ask for 100% of your money back. And this feature is called return of premium. And Canada is one of the last countries in the world with this feature still in their critical illness policies. And so what this means is after 15 years, you get a choice. You can either collapse the policy and say, I don't want the coverage anymore, give me 100% of my money back, or you can continue to make the premium payments. And you get that choice every year in the 16th, 17th, 18th year. And so at some point in time, you will cancel the coverage and you will get 100% of your money back. Now, if you're an incorporated individual and you have a corporation, then you can actually own the critical illness policy inside your corporation. And that's much better from a cost-effective perspective because you're using 12.5 dollars from a small business deduction to pay for the policy versus your own personal tax rate, which might be 35 or 40%. And so the other strategy, and it's really kind of cool, is called a split dollar critical illness policy. You can only do this if you have a corporation because part of the premium is paid for by the corporation and part of the premium is paid personally. But when you go to cash in the value and say, I would like to have my money back, not only do you get your own personal money you put in, you also get the corporate money you put in 100% tax-free personally. So this is a great way of getting coverage, but when you no longer want the coverage, you get 100% of your money back and you get it back all personally. Now, how do you determine how much critical illness coverage you should put in place? Well, for the average male in Canada diagnosed with a critical illness, they're usually off work somewhere between 12 and 18 months. And for the average female, it's around 18 months. And so how you calculate this is you take your net income after taxes. So if you're earning $200,000 a year after taxes, you would multiply that by 1.5 to get the right coverage. In this case, it would be $300,000 worth of coverage. Now, an estimated 50% of Canadians will actually be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Think about that. That's 1 out of every 2 Canadians are going to get cancer, and 25% of Canadians will be diagnosed with coronary heart disease or stroke. And so the message here is you need to incorporate bumper guards in your overall plan, so you need to put critical illness in place to protect you and your family, and you need to get it as soon as you can. The younger you are, the cheaper the coverage is. This channel allows me to share the passion that I have for financial planning, and so I will only produce content that I would want to watch. So my promise to you is I will give you a 110% effort in every video that I do. So if you liked what you saw here in the video and are interested in additional information on critical illness insurance, or if you've already decided that you're interested in purchasing critical illness insurance, click on the link below to apply to become my client. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share the video with a friend. And always remember, when we develop financial plans for our clients, we make sure that your money outlives you in retirement.